Let's talk about hiring. What if you could stop gambling on expensive hires? Today, we're going to dig into a totally different way to build your team, one that just scraps the old, slow, and crazy expensive methods. We'll be looking at a modern, flexible approach to recruitment, and we're going to use the model from a company called Pridus Global as our guide.
Poof. Does that question hit a little too close to home? You know, if you've ever paid a massive agency fee only for a new hire not to work out, you know exactly what that feels like. Hiring top talent can feel like a high-stakes bet, but what if there was a way to change the game entirely?
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at what's broken with the old way of hiring. Then, we'll introduce a much smarter, unbundled solution. We'll walk through the specific services you can actually choose from, see how a real partnership should work, and then lay out the super simple steps to get started.
Okay, so let's get right to the heart of the problem. For decades, the recruitment industry has basically run on a model where you, the company, take on all the cost and all the risk. And you can see the two worlds right here, side by side. The traditional model, it's a high-risk gamble. You're paying a huge contingency fee that's tied to salary. But this new model is built on transparency. It's all about flat-fee projects and unbundled services, which means you only pay for the work you actually need.
To make this really hit home, let's use a real-world number. Let's say you're hiring for a key role, and the salary's about $120,000, okay? Keep that number in your head.
And boom, here's the difference. With a traditional agency, that $120,000 salary could easily cost you a $30,000 fee. Now compare that to a flat-fee sourcing project, which comes in at just $1,500. That's not a small saving. That is a game changer for how you can budget for talent.
So, okay, if the old way is broken, what's the fix? Well, this brings us to the core idea behind this whole model, the concept of unbundling recruitment.
So what does unbundled even mean? Well, it's pretty simple. It means breaking the whole recruitment process down into its individual parts. Think of it like this. Instead of being forced to buy a fixed three-course meal, you get to order from an a la carte menu. You pick and pay only for what you need, whether that's just writing a great job description, finding candidates, or handling the interview schedule.
All right, so let's see how this actually works in practice. This model basically gives you a toolkit organizing services into 4 different tiers, and each one is designed to solve a very specific hiring challenge. First up, we've got Tier 1, the Talent Magnet. For a flat fee of just $299, this is your perfect entry point. It's really for companies who just want to see a big, immediate improvement in the quality of people applying to their own job posts. It's a fantastic, low-risk way to test the waters.
And here's what you get for that. The main thing is one professionally written job description, which is backed by actual research and a strategy call. Now, it's super important to see what's not included. They're not finding the candidates for you at this tier. The whole point is to make your job posting so good that the best talent finds you.
Now let's step it up to Tier 2, the candidate pipeline. This is perfect for teams who are great at interviewing, they just don't have the 40-plus hours it takes to hunt down that top-tier passive talent. You know, the people who aren't even actively looking for a job. This is where the real heavy lifting of sourcing happens.
With this service, you literally get a list of 4 to 8 qualified, vetted, and, most importantly, interested candidates, all with detailed summaries. So they find the talent, and your team just has to take it from there. I mean, this tier alone can save your team a full week of work.
Tier 3 takes it even one step further. It's called pipeline and coordination. This is for those teams that are so swamped, they not only need someone to find the talent, but also to manage the entire interview process, from A to Z.
So with this, you get everything from Tier 2, plus full interview scheduling, all the back and forth coordination, and all the candidate communication. This is basically your recruiter on demand. It frees your team up to focus on the one thing that matters, making the best possible hiring decision.
And finally, we have Tier 4, the quarterly retainer. Now, this isn't for a one-off hire. This is a strategic partnership. It's for companies that are serious about growth and know they have ongoing hiring needs, like maybe building out a sales team or an engineering department.
You know, the best way to think about it is right here. You get all the benefits of an in-house talent team, proactive sourcing, market insights, but you do it without the $100,000 plus overhead of hiring a full-time recruiter.
With a retainer like this, the support is just always on. You're getting help with up to 3 hires every quarter, plus continuous pipeline building, so you're never starting from zero. For any company that's hiring at scale, this is by far the most cost-effective option.
Okay, so the services are crystal clear, but what does it actually feel like to work together? This next part is all about setting clear expectations, which is how you build a foundation of transparency and trust. The terms are really straightforward. For the flat fee projects, payment is 100% upfront. But here's the thing, just as important is your role. Success here is a two-way street. Giving quick, clear feedback is so important because the best candidates just don't stay on the market for long. And the disclaimer is refreshingly honest. They guarantee the quality of the candidates, but of course, the final hiring decision is always yours.
And to give you some peace of mind, here's the guarantee. They promise that every candidate they bring you is qualified and genuinely interested in the role. If someone happens to drop out before you even get a chance to talk to them, they'll find you a replacement, no extra cost. This really takes a lot of the risk off your plate.
All right, we've covered the problem, the solution, and the whole process. Now for the final, and maybe the most important part, how you can actually take the next step. And it's incredibly simple. You can shoot them an email directly with the tier you're thinking about, you can book a free 15-minute call just to talk through what you need, or you can head over to the website to review everything we've covered today. 3 super clear, easy ways to get the ball rolling.
So, we'll leave you with this thought. The old way of doing things treats hiring like a roll of the dice. This new approach, though, it reframes it as a series of smart, strategic, and affordable decisions. So the question is, which path are you going to choose to find your next great team member?